Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Reboot era. Today, we're going to open with a question. What do you do when the promotion you've been chasing suddenly feels like a prison sentence?
Before we kick off today's episode, I wanted to share something that really worked for me. I've been using jobhire.ai in my own job search, and within a couple of weeks, I had 5 interviews lined up and 2 offers on the table. I may have even accepted one of those offers, but more on that later. What I love is that they're so confident in the process that if you don't land an interview in 15 days, you get your money back. And throughout September 2025, I've partnered with them to give you 30% off with my code DRAY30, DRAY30. So if you're in the middle of your own reboot, this is worth checking out.
Today's guest, Riley Simmons, is a 25-year-old Marine Corps vet who walked away from corporate finance, bought a one-way ticket to Europe, and decided to see the world, surfboard, notebook, with zero return flight in hand. In this episode, we talk through the months and years of planning behind a spontaneous leap, the real math of saving for an open-ended trip, and how he's thinking about safety, hostiles, workaway gigs, and building an audience from scratch, starting with 2 TikToks and a dream. We also met Iris, the border collie staying with the world's best neighbor, and unpacked the mindset shift from waiting for life to happen to making it happen. So let's dive in.
My name's Riley Simmons. I'm from Ohio. Grew up there my whole life. Went to college in Cincinnati. Grew up in a small town about 4 hours south or northeast of Cincinnati. And a small town dude my whole life. Went to college in a big city. Ended up going to South Carolina, or got in trouble when I was in college. I got suspended from school for getting in a fight with my roommate at the time. So I was like, you know what? My girlfriend at the time, me and her broke up. Joined the Marine Corps. Was in the Marine infantry for about little less than 2 years. Hurt my back while I was in, and my original major in college was chemistry. So after the Marine Corps, I got had to go back to college, live with my parents for a little bit. Switched over to business, international business. Dating a girl at the time, moved in with her at college. Lived with her for a year, didn't work out. She was going to move to South America, so I decided I was going to move to South Carolina, Charleston. Ended up working there in finance for about a year. Moved to Jacksonville, Florida, about 4 hours south of Charleston. Same job, lateral move, same job, and just for better surf. Like literally, that was what I told my boss. Hey, I want to surf more waves. That's better down there. So they moved me 4 hours south. It was going good for a couple months, but the whole time I was doing it, it just felt unfulfilled in my career, and it wasn't what I dreamt I was going to be doing my whole life. A million other things I wanted to be doing rather than corporate finance. And eventually, they were supposed to give me this promotion. I didn't think I was going to get it, and in that exact scenario, I realized I didn't want the job anyways. I didn't want what they were going to give me. I didn't want that life. So I decided, I'm out. And I just decided to go see the whole world, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, so that's a crazy story. You were in college and hurt yourself and you're moving around. There's girlfriends, there's partying, there's fights, all the fun stuff. So how old are you, just to paint the picture?
25.
Okay, and so you've been officially graduated or out of school for how long?
Almost a little over a year and a half.
Okay, and then now you're going on this journey. And just for anyone who's listening to the podcast, I was scrolling on TikTok last night, 2 nights ago, and I just scroll and I come across these random profiles all the time of people doing crazy things. And I saw you had no followers yet, and you had 2 videos posted, and I was like, wait, he's just leaving the country? Where is this guy going? And then I was like, this is kind of like a reboot. I would love to have him on the podcast because I think it's a little bit more of a positive spin than the sadness of the layoffs. And so that's what I want to talk about today is you were just like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to do this thing. But there's so much planning, no, that has to go into this.
Yeah. Short answer is yes. This wasn't something that I just thought of, the day I quit. It was something I had in my mind for months, probably even years, saving up for it financially. But the emotional and the gravity of the decision I was going to be making, that took longer. Just almost to finally tell myself, hey, this is your last day of work today.
Okay, so leading up to that point, did you always know where you wanted to go and you were just like, I gotta save for it? Were you just saving and you were like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this money, but I think I want to take a trip?
Well, no, because I went to El Salvador about a month and a half ago, surfed there for like 2 weeks. It was awesome. And that was like probably like the 4th sign that I needed to get out of my job. I came home from that trip just being like spending very little money while I was there, really like managing my finances well. And I was just like, I can't do this job. But I went back, worked like a month and a half longer. And then finally, after that promotion shit was about to go down, I was like, nah, this is it.
Okay, so you were gonna get the promotion and you were like, no, I'm done.
Well, it was like up in the air. I'm not going to go into too much detail just because I'm not sure what I can say. Yeah, basically, I didn't know if I was going to or not. It was up in the air. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be the loser in this situation. I'm like, I don't even want this anyways, even if I would get it.
So you're saving, you're saving, you're saving. And is there a number, right? For people who might want to do this in the future, is there a number you hit where you're like, I have 12 months of expenses for my own self saved, and that's how I knew I was ready?
For sure. For sure. I think you have to know what you have going out every month. And it's all about just your monthly budget. Like, do you have a car bill? Do you have insurance? Do you have to pay your phone bill? Do you have subscriptions that you don't need? Like, I have to go cancel my Crunch membership today, actually, before I forget. I have to do that today. I'm happy we did this.
You're welcome for the reminder.
Yeah, you just saved me $30 a month. So yeah, you just kind of have to figure out what you have going out. Unfortunately, like I had to take student loans out, so that's 500 a month. So I have around altogether. I'm keeping my apartment in Florida also. I'm like gonna keep renting it and having all my stuff here, keep getting mail here. So all over or altogether, I have about 3,000 going out every month. I mean, if I wanted to spend 10 months, I'd have to have about, how much is that? 3,000,
30 grand.
30 grand. Yeah. So that's about where we're at. But I'm also going to be like making flights and that kind of thing. And luckily, I was in the military, so I do have some, income coming in from that, fixed income. But at some point, I'm not trying to. I don't know about the financial side of it because it really depends on what kind of life that you want to live whenever you're traveling.
Sure. But for right now, this trip that you're going on, how long is it, right? I want to talk about where you're going in a second, but first,
Uh-huh.
how long will you be gone for?
There's no return flight.
Okay, so we don't know. He could
We
come
don't
back
know.
in a month. You could come back in 10 years.
Totally.
Okay. I love
Totally.
this. I love this. And so then where are you going? Like, right now, what's some destinations that you have in mind?
Okay. I'll tell you the only thing that I have planned 100%, and then we can go into what I have my sights on after if you'd like. My first flight, cheapest flight into Europe I could find was Jacksonville, Florida, into Frankfurt, Germany. Dude, I don't even know about Frankfurt. I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it, but like I have no interest in it. But it was like $300 to fly there from one-way ticket, of course. So I bought it on an impulse. I was like, all right, my trip start next week because I bought this last week when I was in Ohio. So I'm gonna stay there for about 4 days, hang out in the city, figure out what the hell to do, uh, and then go to Berlin. I got a train to Berlin. Gonna be in there for like 4 days. I've been kind of like trying to network in Berlin because apparently it's a pretty cool city, and then fly out of Berlin to Casablanca, Morocco. Gonna go surf there, or you're not gonna surf in Casablanca. I'm just gonna hang out there for 4 days, 5 days. I don't really know how long, and then go surf in Taghazout, Morocco, which is really good surfing in Morocco. It's some of the best and world class wave called Anchor Point. If any of your viewers are surfers out there, and they know what I'm talking about, but and then I got a flight into Florence, Italy. I'm gonna be hanging out with a girl that I know from America. She has a trip already planned. Basically, I'm just like tagging along with her for a leg of her trip. And then literally after Florence, nothing is set in stone. I have the Florence flight and then the Germany flight and then the Morocco flight. Those are the 3 flights. That's it.
Okay. Well, that's super exciting. I went to a school for university where a lot of people studied abroad and ended up working abroad afterwards. So I know a few people from my career who live in
Ooh.
some of those places. And if you're interested, I could see who's out there and where they are. Specifically
Yeah.
Italy. If you end up in Milan, I have a really good friend who would love to show you around. She loves to hike, her and her boyfriend. So like if you're into that type of stuff, I can
Okay.
connect you.
Okay. Sweet.
And
Dude,
she's from
100%.
France. She's from France, so she could tell you where to go if you're interested in visiting France as well.
Okay. Cool.
This is so cool. And so now let's talk about once you do those things, which sounds like an epic trip already. Are you just, hey, there's a cheap chain to Spain, I'm going to go take it and see what happens? Or like, how are you kind of navigating what you're going to do next after Italy?
That's a loaded question because I've already made mistakes in my own head. Like I should have went here so I could have taken this route. I really wanted to go see Poland and I wanted to go see some like Eastern Northern Europe, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, all that, Romania, Bulgaria. But now I don't know, something in me is just like pulling me towards the Middle East. I love them. I've been to Dubai. I loved it. I've been to Abu Dhabi. Also loved it. But yeah, I think after Italy, I'm gonna maybe hang out in Greece because I'm a huge history nerd. So it'd be cool to see some of that stuff. And I might meet up with my old Marine buddy somewhere in Eastern Europe. I'm not sure where or when. Totally up in the air, but we were talking about it. And then head to Turkey. And then from Turkey, I was thinking Lebanon, Beirut. And dude, if I could find a way into Iran or Afghanistan, I would do it. And I'm going to try to do it.
I think you can find a way in. I just don't know if you'll find a way out.
Good point. Good point.
Does any of this scare you, right? For people who may think of this or who want to now follow you, which we'll get to later, and see your journey, like, is there anything that's like, ooh, I love the idea of going to this place, but I don't know if our US relationships are at the best to venture into some of these areas?
Well, first thing I could say is you could always say you're Canadian.
Okay.
That's what a lot of people do that I know that travel. And second thing is you'd be surprised how nice people are on the personal level, like the one-on-ones. Anybody really. I've never met a bad person in a different country, to be honest, like not a single one.
Not yet.
And I'm not yet. Knock
This
on
might be the
wood.
trip. This might be the trip.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. And so
And I'm gonna try to meet as many people as I can on my like just go on their adventure. Kind of like, hey, what are you doing today?
can I tag along? Yeah,
Yeah, can
do
I
it.
maybe come to work with you?
I think that's awesome. You should totally do that. So I do have a friend in Poland who I actually just connected with the other day, and I'm sure they would be open to letting you either stay with them or chat with them and hang out. I think it's him and his husband. They're older. Him and his husband, he's a super chill dude, works at a defense contracting company.
Shit.
Yeah, and
That's
so
cool.
they have like stints where they go abroad. And then you mentioned another country, I think Romania. I'm pretty sure I have a really cool connection from my most recent job who lives in Romania, and he was going to show one of my friends around who is visiting. I'm sure him and his wife would love to do that with you as well
Okay.
if you're interested. See who I
Yeah.
can connect you with.
This is exactly what I'm talking about because I don't really know where I'm going after Italy. So this is the type of stuff. If there's someone I can go see, it gives me a reason to go to that place.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
hopefully you can make a really cool trip. Now, the thing that I found that I thought was really interesting, which I haven't had the chance to talk too much about on my podcast, is around like the power of networking and social media. And so I came across your TikTok, but prior to 2 days ago or yesterday, you have no presence that I saw on social media. So like, why did you make a TikTok and why did you choose TikTok as the medium to kind of share this journey?
That's the best question, dude. Because I always hated TikTok. I've never had it in my whole life. I downloaded it yesterday whenever I made my account, the day I made my account. And I don't know, it's the short form content. I play into it just as much as anyone because I have Instagram. So sometimes, I find myself scrolling and I have to like almost punch myself in the head, like, hey, don't do that. Like, you know what you're doing right now. So TikTok was just one more distraction in the world. I don't have a TV at my house. I don't have Wi-Fi. I read as much as I can. I just try to get away from all of that if I can help it. So that's why I don't have the never had TikTok. Now, everyone that I've been talking to about just my life in general, like if I could go into as many crazy shit, much crazy shit that just comes up on me like weekly, someone was like, dude, you got to make a TikTok. And enough people told me it. And then my other friend was like, hey, you're going on this trip. Maybe you should just make one for me. And then I can look at it. And I'm like, okay, I could do that. So that's what we did. Yesterday was day one.
Yeah. So TikTok's great. And I think that a trip like this and sharing what you're doing definitely will blow up, and hopefully you get a lot of followers, or at least people just in those areas being like, hey, I'm in this area, like come visit me and hang out and make content. But at the same time, YouTube Shorts is really popular too. So it's the same exact content. You could literally just, once you post the video on TikTok, it saves to your phone. You could just post it on YouTube as well, and you'll never know who you'll run into and who you could share that with. So you don't have to like make a completely separate video and post it on YouTube, but you should try that out and see if, you get more of an audience.
Okay. That's a good thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. I just got into this. Like, I'm the same exact boat as you. I never had TikTok, never wanted it. I had Instagram and that was it. And for that, I just have a very small baking channel. I don't post my face or anything. So
Yeah.
now I'm like all over TikTok, and I was like, I didn't want to do this, but here I am, and it's cool to connect with people. So now, as part of this trip, is there anything that you're leaving behind? Anything that is big that you're like, man, this is what I'm going to miss? Iris, maybe.
Yeah, my dog, bro. Iris. I'm going to miss her so much.
How old is she? Can you give us
Yeah,
some
she
background
just
on
turned
Iris?
2 in June. My ex-girlfriend and I, we got her together. We were coming home from an Arctic Monkeys concert in Detroit, and we were doing good at that point, me and my girlfriend at the time. We're like, "Let's get a dog." Looked on Craigslist, saw border collie puppies for sale in, some random farm on the way home back to Cincinnati. Picked her up. Yeah, and then whenever we broke up, I clearly took her, like, there was no saying who Iris liked more. She came right to me. And then, yeah, I've had her for a year by myself, and she's 2 now, dude. She's the best.
And so where is she going during all of this?
I have a neighbor. She's an older woman. She's not too old, but she's older than me. And, yeah, she's gonna be watching her. I'm actually watching her dog right now. His
Okay.
name's Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I think I saw the video of the dog.
Yeah, dude, that dog barks so
Cutie.
much. And then he makes Iris bark. Like, he, like, almost incites her, like, "Oh, you should bark now." And then she starts barking. I'm like, "No, dude, just because he does it doesn't mean you have to."
Yeah. So if things go well, if like life works out and you are indefinitely in Europe or the Middle East or something, would you work on a plan to try to get Iris to come live with you, or are you coming back for sure? You just don't know when.
I think I'd like to have her with me if I end up if, like, say, like, I'm definitely gonna end the trip in Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines. Uh, did I miss anything? I don't think so. Indonesia. But say, I can start generating income on the road, doing gigs, doing odd jobs, whatever it is, and it's sustainable, and I love my life, and I love the location I'm at. Oh, yeah, she's coming with me. I'm gonna pay the relocation expenses and get her over with me for sure.
This is so great. And what about Australia? Because I feel like if you guys can see Riley, which hopefully, follow him on TikTok and you'll see what he looks like. But Australia, you look like you're Australian. Like you could be Australian. You love surfing. Would you go there, or are you going there? Is there a plan to try to go there?
I was talking to a family in New Zealand. They own a sustainable farm. It's all, self-sufficient. And on Workaway, on that app, if you have any travelers listening, Workaway is a great app. You can, make a profile. I think it's like $70 a year. And you can get into contact with all these other travelers, these people that need help at their house. They'll give you accommodation, food. Sometimes they'll even pay you just to stay there and help them. And yeah, it's super cool. Good way to travel, cheap way to travel. I was talking to a family from New Zealand about potentially helping them, and they told me I could bring Iris, which was super sick because they have 2 dogs too. But unless I was staying a long time, I probably wouldn't bring her, like a year or less, because it's like 5,000, I think, to ship your dog across the ocean.
Yeah. Okay. So there is a plan to visit New Zealand at some
New
point.
Zealand and Australia, it's I don't know. Same thing with Hawaii. I sometimes look at a place in terms of the surfing potential and if I'm ready. So, like, Hawaii is just gigantic. I know it's a beautiful country or beautiful state, and, there's so much more to it than surfing, but if I went there and didn't surf, I'd be pissed at myself. But I'm not ready to surf those waves, and that's kinda how it is in Australia, like, the crowds are heavy and the waves. I don't wanna, like, get overwhelmed surfing and then be like, "Fuck, I hate myself," like, Australia sucks.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to the most? Not specifically a destination, but like just on this trip? You know, whether it's eating the food, visiting a nude beach, like jumping off of a skyscraper. Like, what are the things that are just like, listen, I don't care where I go, but these are like bucket list items I want to do.
Well, you just put an idea in my head about the nude beach that wasn't even in my head.
We have one in San Francisco or San Diego. So I feel like everyone in America knows about it, but at the same time,
Is it blacks?
yeah, see, you know about it. Like,
Okay, well, it's great surfing.
okay, so different reasons, but I feel like a lot of people know about the different beaches we have. What else are you looking forward to? What are those like you want to do it before you come back? What are those things?
I would say the people, just the unknown of the people that I'm going to visit and the places I'm going to visit, just me not knowing and that sort of exhilaration with the unknown and the spontaneity of it. That's the most exciting for me.
How often will you be posting your updates about what you're doing and where you are?
What do you think?
I mean, I want to see them every second.
Yeah.
Like, I want a live stream of every part of your trip. But realistically, like, I think consistency is key. And if you have a few seconds before you go to bed or while you're on the flights, I think there was a guy who he quit his job and he was like, I'm going to sail from America to, I don't know where he went, but he went somewhere. And he was like, it was like 90 days of sailing. And he posted like every day, multiple times a day. So I think like 3 to 5 times, just giving people updates if you've gone places and like you've done things, or at least a really good recap. Like at the end of the day being like, dude, today, you'll never guess what I did. And then give us the update.
Okay. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that was my thing was probably daily or like a couple times a day. Because if you've seen my videos, I know you have because you obviously messaged me, but they're super informal, like just little blurbs throughout the day. And I have a girl that's like, I know her, she's my friend, and she's been kind of giving me tips like, hey, you should do this, you should do that. So I've been like sort of implementing it, but I don't want to change up the style too much because I like just the random shit that I'm talking about. You know, I don't know how to make a TikTok, a good TikTok for sure.
I will say the trend of TikTok right now in 2025, even in 2024, is like just that raw, authentic talk to the camera. And so, you know, your little jokes are funny. That's the type of stuff that gets you to go viral because you say something unhinged and funny. But at the same time, sharing what you're doing and just being open and honest of like, yeah, right now I'm in Germany. I have nowhere to go. So where do you guys think I should go? And I think that there's something here of like, if you post something like that and then people are like, go check out the Gaza, and you're like, okay, I'm going to live it. And then people are living vicariously through you and you're doing the things they suggest. Like, that's so cool. Cause I can't go to Europe right now. I have these two who I'll never leave until they die. So,
Yeah.
but if you're in Europe and I hear about like the Louvre, I want you to go check it out and tell me what it was like. People will probably send you tickets or not a lot of money, but some money to like pay for the things that you'll do so that they can like experience it through you. Just food
That's
for
a good
thought.
idea. See, like I'm so happy to talk to you and just everybody because you guys are giving me so many good ideas that I never would have thought about.
That's good.
That's good.
So
Yeah,
if you hear
I'll do
this,
that.
if you guys hear this, whoever listens to this podcast and you have ideas for Riley, I'm gonna link his TikTok. And are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I have LinkedIn.
Okay, I'll link his LinkedIn and his TikTok in the show notes below so you guys can follow him. I'll make a LinkedIn post and I'll kind of share a little bit about what you're doing with links to your profile so people can follow you. Now, what about transportation? Like, you don't have a car there, right? Because you're going there. Is everything just going to be like by foot and by train or plane, like cheapest method type of thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my go fasters. That's what I call my feet, and gonna use my go fasters, and stick the old thumb out if I have to.
Wow.
But probably public transportation, to be honest.
Is there anything that scares you about this for people who are maybe thinking about this but haven't made that leap yet? Like, is there anything that you have struggled with being like, ugh, this is what's held me back for a little bit, or this is what scares me?
Yeah, there's a few things for sure. I'd say the first one is, my grandparents are getting older, and I would hate for something to happen while I was, away. That's one thing that scares me. Second thing is just Iris leaving her. That's, in a way scary. But in terms of what I'm going to experience on this trip, I would say walking home from dinner one night, it's like 9:30, 10, and you just get that vibe, like, I'm in the wrong spot right now. Like, 'cause you felt it, living in a city. Everyone has felt it probably at some point, and that's something you can't predict, It's just you feel that in that moment, like, "Oh, this is I shouldn't have walked this route, or I shouldn't have waited this long to leave." Those type of things, but, I feel like I can defend myself. I'm a Marine and I've done jujitsu, so that's not a huge deal, so I guess just travel with people or know where you're going in the neighborhoods.
Okay. And off of that, it made me think of a different question. Are you staying in hostels? Are you staying in hotels? Are you just sleeping on a park bench? Like, what are your accommodations like?
I do have some requirements, so I do like a bed. So I'm going to be staying in hostels most of the time. If say like one family, I get along with the family really well, like, oh, you can sleep on our floor for a week, then I'm definitely gonna go do that. But yeah, hostels the whole time. In Italy, the girl I'm going with, she's a little bit bougie, so she's gotten like super nice accommodations for us, and I'm just gonna go, I don't know, lay
Sleep
on her
and
floor.
shower. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hang out with her.
Does that ever worry you? Like, you'll not have a place to shower? Or do all hostels have that type of accommodation?
I don't know, good question. It does worry me because I love showering. I'm like a 2 times a day kinda guy. Unless I swim or jump in the ocean, then maybe I'll cut it back to 1, but usually 2. And, yeah, so it does freak me out not being able to, like, wash my nuts and stuff, but I don't know, dude, maybe just bring some dude wipes if shit hits the fan.
Okay. You're living by the seat of your pants. You are just doing this and you have the very small portion planned out, which is what, like 3 weeks of it planned so
Yeah.
far?
Yeah, like 2.5.
Okay. And then after that, is there like, you said you want to end in Asia and kind of Thailand, Indonesia area. Why there? Why is that where you want to end? Is there any reason?
It's so cheap to live there. You can live for less than 1,000 a month in, amazing places, beautiful places. So I just figured, if the money starts dwindling down faster than I like it to, and in Asia, live cheaply for a few months, and then hopefully by that point, really fingers crossed that I have more income coming in another way, and I don't have to ever come back. Or if I do want to come back, it's just, small. I come
Okay.
home for a little bit, maybe surf some winter waves, and then back out.
Okay. So you definitely want to like not be in America for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, yeah. I love America. It's my favorite country in the world. It really is. Every time I leave, I always love coming back. But yeah, it's a huge world out there, and I'm not even close to mapping it all out yet.
Okay. So, two questions that I thought of is one being Iris. Are we going to get updates of Iris while you're traveling? Like,
Ooh, good idea.
will your
That's a
neighbor
good
take some
idea.
videos or can we see some FaceTimes between you and Iris?
Yeah, I can make that happen for sure.
Okay. And then the other one was around income. You've kind of hinted at it a few different times. And this isn't about how much you have right now or what you're making right now, but it's more about like when you say if you come into income, what types of things are you thinking about for people who might want to try something like this? I mean, I talk a lot about freelancing, I talk a lot about the gig economy on this podcast. So, what are you thinking? Are you starting your own business? Or are you just like, hey, if I found something where I could make money, I would love to try that?
Yeah. I wish I had my notebook with me. I have hundreds of ideas in there, but I can think of a few. So I've always written a lot. So I'm going to continue writing, like journaling, writing other sorts of literature, and, maybe try to find a writing gig. But also, Workaway is a great way to make money, and then also get your foot in the door. So, maybe you work at a hostel or you work at a farm for a month, and then they like you. Maybe you're into the community, you find a job there. Last resort really is using my finance degree and getting a finance job in a different country. That doesn't really spark my interest. That's not what I'm passionate about, but that's always something I could fall back on. And what else? Yeah, like I've seen that people can like teach English online. I don't know if you've seen that or talked about that, but I saw that's an option. Different remote IT jobs. I am terrible with computers, but I could totally like gaslight someone into letting me give me a job.
I don't think I have an international audience, so I think you're protected and you're good there.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Just random stuff here and there, and talking to people. Hey, what do you do for a living? Just as I meet people and kind of getting an idea. It's just, I'm kind of throwing my life, flipping a coin with it because I had a stable career. I could have retired at that company. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but like I thought I was going to be having a family just a couple weeks ago, totally spontaneous, not planned. And then all of a sudden, that's not going to happen, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but it was a huge deal. And I was like comfortable, like, I got my job, I can do this, I can support whatever I need to. And now I have none of that security, I have none of that cushion. It's just like, okay, Riley, what do you want to do? This is up to you now.
Yeah, just
Stop
do
waiting
whatever.
around. Yeah, stop waiting around, waiting for something to happen because it's not going to. You're going to have to make it happen.
I love this. So for the people who listen to the podcast, you're cool with them following you on TikTok, with them requesting you on LinkedIn? I assume you probably won't be making a lot of updates on LinkedIn, but if they want to send you a message and they don't have TikTok, is that an okay way to contact you?
Yeah, Instagram, I'll be posting on Instagram like once a country or once, like, I don't know, probably not that often, but I'll be posting on Instagram.
Yeah, I'll link all of that below. So you can
Yeah.
find Riley with the links that are in the show notes if you guys want to follow along, or you have any recommendations on where he should go or who he should stay with. If you have a connection, definitely let him know as well, because he would love that. Is there anything else that you would share to people about what you have learned kind of navigating the point to making the decision, right? Why you chose to just jump and do this now?
I say you just got to go with your gut. If you felt it for more than 2 months or 3 months, it's not going to go away. Just make it happen. Start planning and get it off the ground. Because it's not gonna go away. That thought isn't gonna go away. You
Yeah.
should start. It's like a cognitive dissonance that we feel, Our mind doesn't like, we wanna be doing something amazing and inspiring, yet we're clocking into a factory job every day or something similar. And, yeah, you just gotta go do it. You gotta pull that trigger.
If Riley's story nudged something in you, follow his journey, send him some route ideas, and maybe even a couch or two to sleep on. But before you go, if you're job searching, don't spin your wheels like I did early on. JobHire.ai gave me the tools to land 5 interviews and 2 offers, and I may or may not have accepted one, but we'll get to that on a future episode. What's even better is their guarantee. If you don't land an interview in 15 days, you get your money back. And right now, throughout the month of September 2025, you can get 30% off with the code DRAY30, DRAY30. Head over to jobhire.ai, plug it in, and start making moves towards your next role. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with a friend who's stuck between a promotion and a plane ticket, and drop a quick rating so more people find out about the Reboot era. Up next, we'll check back in with Riley once he lands in Europe and starts stitching together his route. Safe travels, Riley, and give Iris a FaceTime from all of us.